If you are a fan of mortars and two-towered chimps, then this is the video for you. We're going to combat this particular scenario using just the Popinor and Blooncineration. The early stage of the game is just literally moving the cursor a lot because of the fact that we don't have a lot of rate of fire, so we need to move this a lot in order to accommodate for the mortar's rather slow rate of fire. So what's the strategy for this? We need to go with the middle path mortar as soon as possible. Why? Because on round 20, I believe, the first set of black balloons will spawn. And please pop blue balloon. And we need the means of being able to pop black balloons by then. So we need heavy shells first. And we need to do this specifically on Scrapyard because we can't afford both signal flare and heavy mortars. Sorry, heavy shells for round 24. I don't like playing on slow speed, but with these first few rounds at the start, we're gonna need it for some precise control with the cursor here. Faster reload. I've never been so happy to see that upgrade up and active. There clears round 9 with a lot of microing involved. Hopefully we can do round 10 without needing to move this a lot. Although if there are going to be any stragglers going down here, then perhaps that will be the case, but not so far here. This backlog of blue balloons may catch us off guard. Nope, that is that round sort of. Rapid reload up and active, but we still need to move about a lot because we don't have a lot of damage per shell, and apparently I'm not very good with microing with the mortar. No, green balloon, you must be popped. I command it. But we don't have our commander with us of the mortars because this is 2TC, not 3TC. Commander being Striker Jones, obviously. We can put it up here a little bit in case if some of them go a little bit too far. But these yellow balloons are going to be a bit of a pest. Sometimes it feels like the cursor does not configurate with your movement here. Isn't that just fantastic? So pink balloons, luckily we're going to have heavy shells up and active, so now I believe we should be able to do enough damage now, and our rate of fire is still not up for grabs here. Yeah, definitely need at this little spot here where it converges with the early part of the map and the middle part of the map. Now since these are regrows, we're going to have to keep a big eye on them so that they don't regrow back and cause us issues. And this yellow balloon is obviously giving us problems. Don't just love it when a regrow yellow of all things comes out to play, and then you don't pop it in time, then it regrows back. Okay, so we could get ourselves bigger blast and balloon buster, but this is just for a practical demonstration as to we can't buy both signal flare and heavy shells by round 24. We really... Okay, we're going to keep you there actually, and I'm going to have the heavy shells beamed on this pink balloon. No thanks. Oh, regrow's still there. Regrow's still there. That's all good. Yeah, it's gonna be like this for the early game, honestly. A lot of... Okay, round 20, black balloons. This is desperately why we need heavy shells at this given point in time. To pop that black layer. Come on. Oh, yellow balloon. Would you please be popped? Or at least go down to a blue balloon so that you're easier to control. Okay, increase accuracy. We're going to get burny stuff. As you can tell, we are very, very far away from getting signal flare. So this particular combination is only possible on this map because we can have just shy of enough money in order to actually get that particular upgrade. And obviously, this yellow balloon does not know how to be damaged. Oh, come on. One pink balloon almost managed to get away. I think my main issue is that I'm not moving these cursors in sync of when they fire, so that's why it looks like I'm doing a pretty poor job. I'm not too concerned about the blue balloons back here, it's just mainly getting their speed under control. Oh, come on, really? Again with that? That is... Oh my goodness sakes, that is so annoying. Would you please connect with the cursor? Some people will say, actually you can get both heavy shells and signal flare for round 24. Can you see us having enough money here, Reddit? No, we are nearly 100 short, okay? Which is why we need the crusher for that. Now let's get signal flares. Great, this yellow balloon is going to be annoying again. Looks like I can't seem to fully pop it, okay? Oh, dearie me. Yeah, we're going to get Bigger Blast and Balloon Buster because this is honestly really annoying me right now. Like, I definitely know that I am not actually moving the cursor in time in accordance to when it's going to fire its shell. That's my main issue, actually. But I just find that sometimes it is down to RNG, which sometimes this game feels like it has RNG. Balloon Buster is definitely needed, that raw damage. Actually, because of 052, the burning damage is increased now from update 42. But guess what else has burning damage? Blooncineration! Now, normally I would go with top path so that we can have a bigger amount of damage over time, but I'm more concerned about the decamification of DDTs later on, so that's why we need the rapid reload instead of the Bigger Blast and Balloon Buster for the balloons. This is why we need Signal Flare. Camo balloons would otherwise be a problem without the means of decamification. I swear if I make my own guide for Bloons Tower Defense 6, getting certain things done like 2 megapops and stuff like that, I'm going to literally put down like a glossary page on like what this particular word is in reference to. So when I say decamification, it means the removal of the camo property from balloons themselves. Pink balloons, lovely. Just what you need. Fun for the whole family. A bloody speedy demon on the field. I believe pink balloons are statistically the fastest balloon in the entire game. Lead balloons, both of our towers have the means of taking these down. The only thing that would stop this particular 2TC from happening is the fact that the mortar is too expensive to spawn around 6. And it would only ever be possible on Scrapyard unless Ninja Kiwi changes the prices. Oh, we can actually get artillery battery. Nice. That dramatic increased rate of fire is going to be oh so lovely. And I don't need to really worry about moving my cursor now, because we can just simply lay it here. It's going to do all the damage that we need it to do for the time being. That's round 39 sorted. Now round 40. Activate the ability, and the Moab is just donezo. We're going to go with Papa Northos before going with Shattering Shells, because I do want to have that increased rate of fire, increased damage, and the ability to stun every balloon on screen unless your name is a bad or a boss. In one of the more recent updates, the Signal Flare has been given to a buff in its decamo range on when the shell lands onto the ground, so it's more likely to be able to decamify balloons. So let's say all these pink balloons here. I think normally it would not have been able to do that because of the fact that the pinks move so fast. It can sometimes go in between the gaps of the shells themselves, but because of the fact that the range of the decamo part of the Signal Flare has increased, it means they're not as likely to go through between the shells. Clearing up round 49 here, no issues whatsoever. The artillery battery is just such a great tower to use for the early game aspect here. Not going to use the ability because I feel like I'm going to need it for a later round when there's multiple Moabs to deal with. Like, I know there are multiple Moabs to deal with on this round, but oh, we can converge up here actually, so that's why I'm not kind of worried about that. Get rid of all the red balloons, and then just target you, my dear bee friend. Somebody mentioned about the DT and the bee skin Moab looks too similar. I do kind of agree with that actually, because of the black outline on the bee itself. But at the same time, we know which one moves faster than the other, and when the DDTs are decamified, the neon lights turn yellow. And in this case, you're gonna know what it is. But then again, in the previous video when I did Void Door 2 Megapops in that Cosmic Marble map, the map color didn't help really when it comes to distinguishing between the two balloons. Oh, so yeah, the two different types of balloons there. Yeah, I think this round I definitely need to use the artillery battery ability here because of the fact that there's just multiple Moabs here. I'm going for the backmost one so that I can, if there are any survivors, it would catch up to the frontmost Moab there. When I first started playing Bloons Tower Defense 6, I despised mortars. I thought the idea of just constantly moving a cursor about in order to try and actually damage a balloon was just one of the most detestable things ever. But I think playing around with something that you ultimately dislike at first, you may come to appreciate it or hate it less, or if you are doubling down, then you hate it even more because you've had to force yourself to try and go for the experience of seeing what it's like to play with that tower. So yeah, it's actually one of my favorite towers now, the Mortar, and I think it's mainly to do with the opportunities that you can give yourself with the Mortar itself in comparison. Oh, let's just use the ability because we're going to pop an ore soon. And we won't immediately have the ability up and running because of the fact this is an ability, but you know what I mean. But we now have a permanent artillery battery ability now active. So this is just now cleaning house. As you can see here, signal flare is definitely going to come in clutch for this round. And yeah, I still think I went with the correct cross path here because of the decamification part of our run here. Like, if you're going with the bigger blast radius but less rate of fire, I feel like there's still going to be a bit of a risk when it comes to mainly the DDTs. Fortified Moabs? We do bonus damage against fortified balloons, so you are only a slightly buffed version of that. And also we can remove your fortified status later on with the shattering shells, and also your camo status and your regrow status. This is literally the entire package. Speaking of shattering shells, we can now afford it, and now we can remove the fortified layer off of Moabs, BFBs, normal balloons, and DDTs. Not ZMGs or BADSA, even though the fortified bad will not appear in this game, considering we only have up until round 100. And we're not on alternate rounds as well, so we don't get that fortified bad on round 100. Just to give our Popinor a bit of an easier time, let's do a little bit of microing with the shattering shells, so that once it gets to this place of death, it will hopefully be a little bit easier. The mid-game is just quite casual. Like, we just keep the Popinor cursor over here and we have absolutely nothing to worry about. So, like, up until like round 75 or perhaps even the later rounds from there, it's going to be very casual as long as we have our cursors over here. We don't need to constantly move them about if we know they're going to make multiple loops around here. And the blast radius is big enough so that we can do this. So, I think when it comes to a 2TCC, the biggest one is not possible with either Popinor or Blooncineration, because you can't get Blooncineration in order to, by default, pop black balloons. Like shattering shells and its burning stuff only ever comes into effect if it is able to damage a black balloon. Whereas the biggest one, thanks to the nerf that the biggest one has been given, only its shockwave damage can do that, but you can't really get to that stage because you are stopped on round 20. So yeah, the biggest one probably received the biggest nerf in its entire life, changed its damage type from normal to explosion. And if you're going to say that the shockwave damage is normal type, then let me tell you this: who is going to rely on the shockwave damage to make a difference? That's right, nobody. Or at least nobody's sane enough. I sense a disturbance in the force. Balloons have leaks from the Popinor's blast radius. That is absolutely no good. No good whatsoever. Shattering shells. You know what? We'll finish off with the shattering shells. We definitely will. Come on now. Okay. Pesky pinks, no thank you. And no, we're gonna have to resort to the Popinor because of that black balloon there. No thank you. Oh dear. Okay, we can de-regrowify these. Another term that I would actually put well along with its meaning: the removal of the regrow status. And that's something that only shattering shells and Azili up to a certain level can do. Don't you miss Azili when she was able to defortify Moabs and DDTs? Like, those were the days. Those were the days of all time. Round 78, what's the slot of ceramic gonna do? Absolutely nothing. There goes the remaining of round 78. Okay, can we do this with just the shattering shell damage? Yes, we can. Although if we did have Balloon Buster, then the ceramics would be immediately popped. Like, it wouldn't be red balloons just left. Fortified BFBs. You are no longer fortified. Well, soon anything, but just removing the fortified layer would be good for our Popinor. There's the rest of this round to go down. Thank you very much. Please. Please with a cherry on top. Thank you, round 80. So I'm thinking of doing the micro with both towers in order to take down the ZMG because of the fact that this is one bulky boy and we don't have Blooncineration yet. We will have it soon though. We are 6k away from it. I could just press 1 and just end this entire round, but no, we're going to do the more micro approach because that's more fun, more enjoyable. Fun for the whole family. This is the true micro mortar experience. By not constantly using Popinor to just clear the round, although we will definitely use it for around 100 and all that jazz. Don't you worry. We all have our fun. Don't you worry. We will have our fun of microing the mortar cursor on both of our mortars. Okay, let's clear the rest of this round with that. And now round 82. Blooncineration is up and active. Okay, let's just have this at the beginning of the track so that it just shreds these down to ceramics and removes the fortified layer. So 80,000, 370,000, near enough. And yeah, this is going to catch up, honestly. Like, the gap here is quite large at the moment, but this will definitely catch up in terms of pop count. I can play this on fast forward. Like, that's how relaxing this is right now, despite that we have 2 towers which essentially need a load of micro. Okay, we're gonna micro this round, even though we just solely need the Blooncineration to tear down the ZMG layer, but I'm still doing both. Still doing the both option here, but I feel like we definitely need Popinor down here just to clear up the weaker balloons, honestly. And not even that is enough. Okay, let's just lay down one lot there for the fire to char the pink balloons. The main weakness of a Blooncineration is definitely super ceramics. Like, it doesn't really know how to deal with a lot of them. It can deal with them, but it just doesn't have the fire pairs in order to deal with a lot of them, which is why it does very well against Moabs, because it can damage those up. But when it comes to the super ceramics, it's not that it doesn't have the damage, but it doesn't have the fire pierce in order to deal with all of them. So remove a fortified layer, and they are essentially half as difficult to take down. Okay, round 90. DDT territory, what can we do? Okay, they're decamouflaged, which is nice. Take that down, and we are struggling against these super ceramics, so Popinor is needed for your huge rate of fire. Lots of fortified Moabs. More like loads of Moabs. Aren't I funny? No, I'm not really. Okay, definitely need to move a Popinor to especially deal with that pink balloon, for goodness sakes. My worst fear is not the toughest foe, but the fastest foe in all the lands. Fortified, no, not fortified DETs, just regular DETs, and sometimes don't get enough fire in order to incinerate the ceramics. Oh, I didn't even catch that pink balloon until the very end, so that was really sneaky. Sneak level 100. There we go, that's much easier. For some odd reason, all those DETs were affected this time. I think it's because I focused less on defortifying the BFBs, because they, at that given point in time, were a non-threat. Yeah, this is where these multiple spawn, or multiple reach points are very good. This loop over here, this loop over here. All of the loops. We like loops, especially when there's a tower with a certain blast radius. Round 94, done and dusted. And now round 95. Will Blooncineration behave, please, and decamoufy all of these? We don't necessarily need it for it to pop, even though literally purple balloons remove this Blooncineration part and just reduce it down to a shattering shells. Like, that's its purpose. Okay, once the ceramics get to this part over here, like so, we will then activate Le Popinor. Yeah, I think that's definitely needed for this round. Possibly. Once I decamoufy, the Popinor can deal with the damage. Okay, so where are we on pops? Yeah, this is definitely catching up, and I feel like it's definitely going to overtake because we will be removing the fortified layer of the balloons. Okay, you need to go up here in order to deal with these stragglers. And now you can come back down here. I need the other mortar, please. This is a very smooth experience. Like, once you get past the early rounds and you get your, I think mainly it's artillery battery up and running, you don't have to worry about microing the middle part of mortar a hell of a lot. Like, probably here and there when it comes to multiple Moabs, but pretty chill, actually. A pretty chill experience. Perhaps Popenoring ability there wouldn't be the worst idea, but we have this covered. We have this covered. Okay, round 97. We're gonna have micro with both of these, honestly. I'm not taking any chances here with either of these because the Blooncineration does not defortify ZMGs. They're just too big of a target. But we're looking at this now. I should have placed my mortars on the left side because the UI is just covering up where I need to put the mortar cursors. The experience of Bloons Tower Defense 6. Although once we defortify these when they go down to BFBs, just like so, we won't have a fortify layer to worry about. Let's just deal with the rest of these with that, and let's just watch the magic of this round unfold. No need for the Popenoir ability. I know that sounds very oh my god, I was so out of focus there, I did not even realize what was going on here. You, of all specimens to lose to. Let's micro ourselves out a little better here. Let's move you over there now, since the majority of the targets are going over in that direction. Blooncineration, you definitely need to behave better, please. Oh, I didn't even move you. I was wondering why you didn't do anything. Alright, perhaps if I moved it, I could actually do something with it. Oh, no. Oh, my. Another. It's always just one balloon that does it. You know, at this point, I've just honestly fed up with all these small stragglers, so I'm just going to use the Popenoir ability to deal with the rest of this, and we can move on with our day. Hopefully. Still got all these left to deal with. Ah, still got you to defortify. You are no longer fortified. If this was an RPG, I shred your armor down to 0. Okay, round 99. Can we defortify these? Can we? Please defortify them. Please. I can't do this with just that. Oh my god. Oh, so many. Oh. Okay, call about stupid timing there. Okay, we've got this now. We've definitely got this now, but it just took a little bit of work. Okay, round 100. We definitely need to micro both of these out into oblivion here, because we're not going to be able to do this with just one or the other, for goodness sakes. Right. You can definitely solo with Popenoir if you have the Ultra Booster support, but obviously, this time around we have Blooncin, which honestly, logically, is better on a track where it loops around multiple times. So the bad is going, well, not going down very likely, but its HP is being drained considerably. We're going to use the Popenoir ability as soon as the baddest pops, like just when the DDTs and the ZMGs are just locked into place in the same spot. I feel like that's just the best timing of when we can use it, and I think all of you can agree as well that that is definitely the way to go. Let's just keep the cursor up there, and if the Blooncin follow the bad, because the Popenoir is always going to be able to affect all of these around here. Okay, I'm watching for when the confetti flies, and now. That was almost perfect. There we go. Don't need to move that. Don't need to move that at all. And we've got this in the bag now. ZMGs, if the bad couldn't get through, then neither can you. Let's leave that there. Let's put this up here. They're going to orbit around there and scoop you up. And there we go. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been the 2TCC potential of Popenoir and Blooncineration. There's just, yeah, I just see that there's absolutely no way you can do this with the biggest one and Blooncineration. Like, you need that black popping power potential from round 20 onwards. Otherwise, you're just not going to do it. You can't just rely on the crusher for the black balloons because of the fact that you can't... There's so many zebra balloons on certain rounds. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comment sections below. That is the 2 TTC Popinor and Blooncineration. The only thing I altered was the starting round and the starting cash. So I believe you definitely can get to this little point here when you, when you start round 7. If you have 650, and then you get the cash bonus along with all the pops you acquired throughout round 6. That is definitely the starting cash that you would get, which leaves you with 3 over. Thank you all so much for watching, and please use my creator support code if you are able to do so when you are purchasing in the store, and that would be greatly appreciated. Flare balloons, you cannot mess it up. It's literally the name of the channel is also the name of the code. And take care of yourselves, everybody. Let me know what other 2TTC combination you'd like to see me do. No, I am not doing the biggest one and Tsar Bomber. There is very little camo popping potential with that particular combo. Thank you very much.